Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. After a month-long break, I'm back with another vlog series for my YouTube channel, DataScience with Sam. In my previous vlog series, I talked about computer vision, a very state-of-the-art AI technique that helps to change the paradigm of the artificial intelligence world. If you missed that vlogs, I'll definitely recommend you to go back to my channel and watch those vlogs based on different computer vision technique such as image classification, object detection, face recognition, and other nuances related to that AI technology. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel as more contents on data science and artificial intelligence are forthcoming. Today, I'm gonna start another learning series on natural language processing, commonly known as NLP. It is also a very state-of-the-art AI technique that helps computer to understand the human language in a spoken or written format. So that means it actually enables the computer to understand that how you can retrieve information when someone speaks or someone writes something. It helps us, data scientists, to understand the key intent or the meaning of the data or the text. Like for example, if I want to understand the sentiment of my customers' review feedback, then I will use NLP to get some keywords relevant to that review, and that will help me to understand whether that customer is giving my company a positive or negative review. So NLP has a broader sense of applicability in today's world. A data scientist or AI engineer could help it in many ways. So let's check out in the next section how different NLP tasks could help you in your data science work. Human language is filled with ambiguities that make it incredibly difficult to develop software that accurately determines the intended meaning of text or voice data. There are so many irregularities in any language, like because we have a lot of homonyms, homophones, sarcasms, idioms, metaphors, or any sort of grammatical resences. So these irregularities make it's very difficult to learn a human language. It takes years for a human to learn a specific language, right? So what if we teach a certain natural language driven application, or like we teach computer to recognize and understand any voice command or text in a certain language accurately and provide us further data for analysis. So like for example, like I don't know Spanish, okay? So in that case, if somebody would ask me to go through a voice command or ask me to analyze a text format written in Spanish, it'll be difficult for me. But I can definitely get help of NLP driven application could help me to decipher the Spanish text, transform it into English words, and send me the further the data, the voice or text data in English language, so I could easily process the information and perform further analysis for my own data science work. So that's why speech recognition is a very useful technique for in terms of NLP world. Apart from speech recognition, we do have some certain other tasks such as like text classification or sentiment analysis. So these two techniques are very correlated because we classify text based on the data that we process through the NLP application, where most of the cases this text classification would help us to perform further analysis. Like if you want to understand your customers review feedback, then you can actually get a use of NLP, which will process your customers review feedback, and it will extract certain keywords from that review data, and based on those keywords the NLP will determine whether it's a positive or negative review. Like so many streaming channels, Amazon, so many retail companies are using NLP to understand the qualitative measure of their customers. I mean, they're trying to understand their customer sentiment, which will help them to make better business decisions. So like most of the cases, they usually get a chunk of like a review data, which they process it through the NLP app and try to find out how many positive and negative reviews they get for a certain product, and based on that product review analysis, they will determine whether they're gonna improve the product or they're gonna keep it as is. So that's why NLP is very helpful, very useful for certain companies to perform the sentiment analysis. Apart from that, there are so many other tasks like part of speech tagging, natural language generation, or even like word sense disambiguation would help you to construct your sentence in a proper format. So like most of the cases, like when you write something on WhatsApp or a certain chat box, it will try to give you autocorrect statement, right? So those autocorrect words get generated by NLP, because as it predicts the next word based on your typed words, and that sometimes it helps you to like put your words in a better structural format, and also it helps you to correct your grammar. So that's why NLP is very useful in writing as well, and sometimes it will help a writer to make a better, make their writing better and more comprehensive. So this is some of the tasks that you can perform using NLP. So let's check out in the next section that what are all the real life applications driven by NLP that impacting our personal life and our professional life as well. Natural language processing is the driving force behind machine intelligence in many modern real-world applications. Here are a few examples. Spam detection. You may not consider spam detection as an NLP solution, but the best spam detection technologies use NLP's text classification capabilities to scan emails for language that often indicates spam or phishing. These indicators can include overuse of financial terms, characteristic bad grammar, threatening language, inappropriate urgency, or any misspelled company names to determine whether the email is spam or non-spam. The next use case is machine translation. We all know that the capability of Google Translation, which is a real-world example of widely available NLP technology at work. The truly useful machine translation involves more than replacing words in one language with words on another. An effective translation, it helps you to capture accurate meaning of the data, and also it helps you to understand the desired impact of the output language. When you work for a multinational company, you can use machine translation technique built upon an NLP driven techniques to understand the review feedback from customers around the world. The next use case is virtual agents and chatbots. Virtual agents such as Apple Siri and Amazon's Alexa use speech recognition to recognize patterns in voice commands, and also natural language. It uses natural language generation to respond with appropriate action or helpful comments. Like for example, like when you talk to Alexa and ask Alexa, turn on the TV. So Alexa uses the NLP to recognize your speech, transform that speech into a voice command, and that command trigger the next action. It basically triggers the next IoT device that turns on the TV. So that's why these virtual agents are very helpful to a very useful in a common world application that you can even use at your household. The next use case is social media sentiment analysis. As I mentioned in the previous section, that sentiment analysis is a key driver of using NLP's text classification capabilities to understand the quantitative measure of your customer. Like if you want to understand customer sentiment on a certain product or a certain movie or certain a sports or anything else, so you can use NLP sentiment analysis to synthesize their review data and process it in such a way so that it can determine that it is a positive or review or a negative review. Like for example, Netflix could could use NLP app to process all the customer review feedback on their movies, and based on their prediction they can determine whether the movie has positive impact on their customers or not. The next thing is text summarization. So text summarization is also a very useful NLP technique, as it helps to digest the volumes of digital text and create summaries and synopses of indexes. Like for example, the academic researcher usually read a lot of articles or a lot of research papers on a daily basis, and most of the time they have to go through a humongous research database to collect information that's relevant to their research work. But what if they will get help from NLP to summarize some of the text from a research database, which they can apply on their work? So they don't have to spend time on going through thousands and thousands of articles or research paper to understand, to gather information. They can always use a certain NLP app like IBM Watson that will help to get relevant information and use those relevant data for it to understand the semantic reasoning of the data, and that data will help them to perform further analysis in the research work. So that's kind of like these are the all use cases that you could see we are using using NLP in the real world. There are certain applications that you can use at your household, like the virtual agents, and certain application you could use at your work. There are so many applicabilities of NLP that we could see in modern day that it's kind of becoming an integral part of your personal and professional life. So let's move to the next section to conclude this video. Hope this vlog gives you an overview of what NLP is, how NLP is making an impactful contribution to artificial intelligence world, and how it's actually revolutionizing your personal and professional life in different aspects. So in my next video, I'll talk about text classification, because text classification is one of the very important NLP techniques that we're using in our professional research or any analytical work. So let's stay tuned for that, because I would give you a quick code overview also, that how you can apply different Python programming language to perform your text classification technique. So that is also like a very useful technique for data scientists to learn if they want to lay their hands on NLP work. So that's all for today. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, as more contents on natural language processing are forthcoming. So this is the first vlog of that series, so there will be more vlogs are coming in next 1 month. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time. So till then, goodbye.